Greetings, everyone. Well, I'm going to be talking about the Hobbit trilogy. I was curious about the production status of the movies, as well as what the third film is going to be about. So I have some notes here. I did some research last night. Of course, as you know, The Unexpected Journey came out in December of last year. We have The Desolation of Smaug, which comes out at the end of this year, in December. And then There and Back Again in December of 2014. And we are getting a teaser trailer for The Desolation of Smaug. That's arriving in just a few days, so looking forward to that. Alright, so There and Back Again, which is the third installment in the Hobbit trilogy. So a lot of the notes I found could be speculation. I didn't really find too much that's official, but it sounds like it makes sense. So some people are saying this could be a bridge film between Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship. Materials taken from the Return of the King appendices. Apparently that's what inspired Peter Jackson to make the third film. There's talk of, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, Silmarillion? I imagine in The Desolation of Smaug, we're not going to have a cliffhanger. We'll have a proper climax, finale, ending, whatever you want to call it. As far as the timeline, when would There and Back Again take place? Would it be years after Desolation of Smaug? The trilogy? Or are we just getting the two Hobbit films? So we have An Unexpected Journey and The Desolation of Smaug, and that's it for The Hobbit. So the third film, should we even call it The Hobbit? If it's just going to be a bridge film? Because it sounds like we're going to get the whole story in two movies. And I'll get to that in just a bit with production status. Some people are saying they want to see Tom Bombadil, maybe a central focus in the third movie, because he's left out of Lord of the Rings, even the extended versions. It sounds like they'll make use of the footage from the first two films, which was originally shot for them, for the third movie. The first two films were shot from July 2011 to December, and then ended on July 6th of 2012. And then in May of 2013, they shot additional footage for 2 and 3, which is supposed to last like 10 weeks. So the shooting for the first two films, total of 266 days. So just under a year. I'm not sure, with their break schedules and that, but could figure it out. So that means Peter Jackson shot the complete Hobbit story since principal photography ended on July 6, 2012, and then he announced the trilogy, the third film, on July 30th of the same year. On June 6th, apparently 10 more weeks of shooting in new pickups. They're doing that in Wellington, New Zealand. But on May 20th, Peter Jackson said they started filming pickups, saying it was the last ever. And who knows how long that lasted. It sounds like we'll get some new production videos. I don't know if we'll get them on YouTube or if they want to save them for the bonus features on the home video. Warner Brothers said the teaser trailer is going to arrive 1 p.m. EDT on Tuesday, which is about 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the film is going to premiere in LA in December. I'm not sure why they're not premiering it in New Zealand, but maybe we'll find out. A bit of a spoiler alert, a character spoiler, or spoilers I should say. Orlando Bloom is going to be playing Legolas again in The Desolation of Smaug. That has been confirmed. Evangeline Lilly's character, Toriel, hope I'm pronouncing that one right too, is an invented character, head of the Elven Guard. She's a Sylvan elf. And Frodo is listed in the credits for Desolation as well. I imagine it's going to be another prologue intro, and then they'll, flash back to Bilbo and the gang. So on IMDb, they have the There and Back Again page, the plot synopsis. Now this is another spoiler, kind of, but I'm confused by this. So it says that they're in Smaug's lair, but will they get the gold and return home safely? So 3 films, 1 story? Or was that just a fan that posted that, so it's not official? Because again, it sounds like everything's going to be wrapped up at the end of Desolation of Smaug, and then the 3rd film will be completely separate. Maybe a completely different story. Benedict is listed as the necromancer in the 3rd movie. Listed in the credits, of course. There has been some talk about the Battle of the 5 Armies in the 3rd movie. And the Return of the King appendices, about 125 pages of material, which is a lot of material. I have not read those. I'm not sure if it's all one linear story that they follow, or if it's several different stories. And a note, I wrote this morning when I woke up. I was like, I wonder if they'll have Aragorn in the 3rd movie. Now, there was some talk about him turning down a role in The Hobbit, and I read on theonering.net that is false. I guess before production began, I think this is like several years back, maybe even like 2008, a producer just mentioned, like, you know, would you be interested in returning? And Viggo said something like, well, Aragorn's not in The Hobbit. You know, he's not in the book. And that's basically it. So it's not like he turned down a role, necessarily. But would you like to see him in There and Back Again? If you know anything about the appendices, if you can give some information without spoiling anything, just give us some general themes, ideas of what we're going to see, what we could see. It sounds like in the 2nd movie, Desolation, we're going to follow several different stories. So kind of like the 3 they did in the 2 towers and everyone's divided up. It sounds like in Desolation we're going to follow some different storylines, which will be good. That way we're not following just one group of people. It sounds like some people got kind of bored with the 1st movie, with Unexpected. I did not at all. I was very entertained by the movie, very blown away by it. But I'm interested to see how the elves fit into the 2nd movie, and what other characters they've invented, you know. But it doesn't sound like Peter Jackson's making the 3rd just for the heck of it. I mean, to me, a trilogy always sounds great with movies. But as long as you have material, I say why not. But yeah, I don't think that the 3rd one is going to be the Hobbit story. I think it's going to end with Desolation, and then the 3rd movie will serve as a bridge between The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, which makes sense. Otherwise, the studio would probably release that movie anyway. They'd say, well, we need something to fill in the gap here. Because The Hobbit takes place about 60 years before Fellowship. So, yeah, I'm still curious about the timeline, because in that 3rd movie, is it going to take place long after the Hobbit movies? Is it going to take place like right before Fellowship, or years before? I know there's a lot of material out there. Anyways, those are my notes. Thank you very much for listening. Please feel free to leave some comments and video responses. Let me know if you're excited for the trilogy, you know, for the other 2 films, what you think's going to happen. And any other information you want to lend would be great. I've released a couple other videos relating to The Hobbit. Some sneak previews, you know, some new photos and stuff. So check those out. And it sounds like at the end of the year we are getting the extended version of Unexpected Journey. So look forward to that, about 20-25 minutes of new footage. And I will be posting a trailer review for the Desolation of Smaug trailer. That website I checked out, it said it was a teaser. But before that, I heard that it's going to be a full-length trailer, about 2.5 minutes. I'm hoping we get that much. I mean, with a movie like this, with films like these, you want a full-length trailer. You know, a minute isn't going to do it any justice. Anyways, thanks again for listening. Subscribe for new videos, and have yourself a wonderful day.